So you're not actually going to be able to see my face for a bit because I dropped my phone the other day and, well, I fucked up my camera. Yeah, but Ketsu here, and I'm going to try. He wants to know how basically current top tiers are above like the pre-gen characters. You see, there are actually two reasons for this. The first reason being that, off a narrative, every generation will have better potential than the last. This is supported by both Jin Rang and Jae Young's statement, where Jae Young states, "I can't even imagine what it would have been like if I coexisted in the same generation as them. Had these guys been part of the first generation, what would have become of us?" Jae Young said right then and there that none of the first generation kings were even near as strong as the second generation when they were their age. Only that the first generation are older and they had a lot more time to train and get stronger is the reason why they are as strong as they were. But if they had the same amount of time, they would easily gap all of the first gen kings. Keep in mind, you could also apply this statement onto James because he does know how strong James was back in the first generation. Even though I think by the time the first generation ended, James was way stronger than when he actually fought Jae Young, but yeah. So yeah, that's exactly why the majority of the first generation kings and second generation is actually stronger than the pre-generation. Because every generation after the pre-generation was just growing much stronger and much faster than the pre-generation was capable of doing so. The only exception to that really being that of Shingen and Gapyeon Kim, but we see with enough time and training, they can actually reach that level. We see with much shorter time, they were actually capable of reaching that level of Prime Gap and Prime Shingen relatively quickly. But to be fair though, this is like a casual feat for Prime Gap and Shingen, and this is a Jae Young all-out feat. This is Jae Young's most powerful attack. But then when we look at somebody like Gun, who was on death's door, meaning that he was way weaker than him in his actual peak performance, he was still capable of performing a Prime Gap and Shingen level feat. And Gun is younger than all of the first gen kings as well. Yeah, this is me at the end of the video, mind you. This is actually the second reason, which is feats. End of the video, I actually want to talk about the statement that Moojin made towards Seungji, on where Seungji has more potential than anybody he has ever seen. That statement can only be applied to the pre-generation members, not the first generation. The reason why is because we do not know if Moojin Jin met any of the other first gen kings. Meaning when he made this statement, he was comparing Seungji's potential to that of Shingen and Gapyeon Kim. And that means Seungji has more potential than any of them. It also means that Seungji could have also possibly forged his own path. I don't think he was ever going to with, Seungji's personality, but it is a possibility. On top of that, that also means both Kitty and James have better potential than that of Gapyeon Kim. This does make sense because when they fought Gapyeon Kim could actually access his prime level of strength due to Overcome. Even though Gapyeon Kim could still access his prime level of strength due to Overcome, he still lost to a much weaker version of James and Kitty. A version of James and Kitty that are way stronger than the version that Gapyeon Kim fought.